The sun burned bright over the high school stadium, glinting off rows of metal chairs and the polished shoes of proud parents. Among the crowd, Marcus James stood tall, his posture straight, his jaw clenched. His Marine uniform, immaculate and pressed, carried the weight of 22 years of service. Every ribbon on his chest told a story of sacrifice. Yet today, none of that mattered, not to the two security guards walking straight toward him. "Sir," one of them said, his voice clipped, "we need you to step aside." Marcus blinked, confused. "Excuse me?" The second guard avoided his eyes. "We've had some complaints. You're making people uncomfortable." He looked around. The murmurs, the turned heads, the way some parents clutched their bags tighter. He knew this look. He'd seen it too many times, not on the battlefield, but here, in his own country. "My son is graduating today," Marcus said, voice low and steady. "I'm standing right where his mother and I were told to stand." "Sir, we're asking nicely," the first guard pressed. "Please don't make this into something it doesn't need to be." Marcus' eyes didn't budge. He didn't flinch. "And if I say no?" The pause was long, awkward, uncomfortable. That's when a voice cut through the tension like a blade. "Problem here?" From behind the bleachers, 5 men in dress uniforms strode forward. They weren't part of the ceremony. They weren't part of the school. But every one of them moved like they'd stepped off the tarmac from a classified mission. Broad shoulders, tight formation, purpose in every step. The one in front, a tall man with icy blue eyes and a scar running down his cheek, locked eyes with the guards. "We're with him," he said, gesturing to Marcus. The guards hesitated. Who are you?" The scarred man gave a slight smile. "Navy SEALs, Team 6. Marcus James saved 3 of our lives in Kandahar." Silence fell like a thunderclap. Marcus didn't say a word. He didn't need to. The lead SEAL stepped between him and the guards. "Let me be very clear. If you're going to ask him to leave, you're going to have to explain it to all of us. Loudly. Right now." The guards backed off, muttering something about a misunderstanding, then vanished into the crowd. But the moment had already shattered something. Marcus turned to the SEALs. "You didn't have to do that." The scarred man chuckled. "Yes, we did." He turned to look at the stage. The principal was announcing names now. One by one, students walked across in their caps and gowns, some cheering, some waving. And then, Isaiah James. A tall boy walked forward, smiling so hard he looked like his face might crack. He scanned the crowd. When he saw his father, still standing tall, still in uniform, his hand shot up in a perfect Marine salute. Marcus didn't salute back. Not at first. Instead, he stepped forward, past the rows of silent onlookers, through the very space the guards had tried to claim wasn't his. And when he reached the edge of the stage, he returned the salute with the precision only a Marine could muster. The crowd stayed quiet. Then came the sound. A slow clap. It started somewhere near the back. Then another, and another, until the whole stadium erupted. The principal froze. Isaiah looked out over the crowd, confused. But then he saw it, what everyone else saw. The SEALs were standing too, saluting Marcus in return. Not a single word was spoken, but everyone understood. This man had fought for them, protected them, bled for them. And today, he was simply a father. A father who refused to be invisible. A father who stood his ground. The applause didn't die down quickly. It roared, like a wave crashing through the stands. Teachers stopped calling names. Students paused mid-step. Cameras lowered. For a moment, the ceremony belonged to one man and his son. Marcus stood still, eyes locked on Isaiah. A lifetime of memories pressed between them. Every missed birthday, every FaceTime call from a dusty base, every silent prayer whispered in a foreign land. This wasn't just a graduation, it was a homecoming. Isaiah descended the stairs, diploma in hand, straight into his father's arms. There was no hesitation. No hesitation from the boy who had once cried at airport terminals. No hesitation from the man who had spent his life trying to protect a country that too often refused to see him. They embraced, and in that embrace was everything they'd ever fought for: honor, family, and the right to simply be. Behind them, the 5 SEALs stood guard, not as soldiers, but as brothers, not to defend Marcus from violence, but from erasure. One of the SEALs, Dom, the youngest of the group, leaned in and muttered just loud enough for Marcus to hear, "You didn't just raise a son, you raised a legacy." Marcus nodded, his throat tight. But just as the ceremony picked up again, just as another name was about to be read, a school administrator approached the group, nervous, sweating. "Mr. James," she said quickly, "I just want to say how deeply sorry we are for what happened. The guards were uninformed." Marcus looked at her, not angry, just tired. "You don't have to apologize for them," he said. "Just ask yourself why this keeps happening." The woman opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. She simply nodded and walked away, her heels tapping quietly against the pavement, drowned out by the names echoing through the speaker. As the ceremony wrapped up, families gathered around the graduates, balloons, tears, laughter. But everywhere Marcus and Isaiah went, heads turned, not in suspicion this time, but in reverence. People parted like water for them to pass. A coach shook Marcus's hand. A student stopped Isaiah just to say, "Your dad's a legend, man." Later, near the parking lot, the SEALs stood in a loose circle around Marcus. They shared war stories, laughed about old missions, and then the conversation turned quiet. "You ever think about coming back?" asked Jackson, the team sniper. Marcus shook his head. "I've seen enough." "Yeah," Jackson replied. "But I mean, not to the core. I mean here, speaking, showing up, letting people see who you are. We don't all get that chance, man." Marcus looked at his son. Isaiah was laughing with friends now, holding his cap in one hand, his diploma in the other. The same boy who used to pretend to shave just to be like his dad. Now a man. Now a future. Marcus smiled. Maybe it's his turn now. One by one, the SEALs hugged him. Not quick macho handshakes, real hugs, real respect. They said their goodbyes and melted into the crowd. Marcus and Isaiah walked toward their cars. The sun dipped low behind the bleachers. "Dad," Isaiah said suddenly, "did you ever think this day would come?" Marcus paused, then looked at his son with quiet pride. "I dreamed of it," he said. "Every single day I was away. Not for me, for you. Because I knew the world wouldn't always clap for you the way it did today. But I needed you to see that you deserve it." Isaiah nodded. Then, as they reached the car, he stopped, turned to his father, and said something Marcus would remember for the rest of his life. "You didn't just fight for the country, Dad. You fought for me, and I saw every battle." Marcus didn't reply. He didn't need to, because some victories aren't loud. Some don't come with medals or headlines. Some are quiet, like a father finally being seen, like a son finally understanding, like 5 men in uniform turning silence into thunder, and a stadium that would never forget the day a Marine refused to disappear. If this story moved you, imagine how many more untold stories are waiting to be heard. On this channel, we bring real emotion, powerful moments, and unforgettable lessons to life through storytelling that hits home. If you felt something today, anger, pride, hope, don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join a community that believes in stories that matter. There's so much more to come. You won't want to miss a single one. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes silence speaks louder than words.